Shalom. Oh shit. Yes, I do listen to R&B. But anyway, Shalom. Shalom Yasharallah. This is Yeshaya back with a car chronicle. On this one, I wanted to discuss something that is not serious, but the only reason why I'm discussing it is because you have people out here getting offended by something that's so stupid, and I want to address it. I want to just hurry up, and address it and let it be known, because although I don't know any brother in the truth that's getting offended, there probably are. So it's something stupid, like I said, which is the phrase "no homo." No homo and pawze and whoa and ayo and all that shit. Again, it's not a serious thing, but, first and foremost, I want to say that pawze and no homo is not a declaration that someone isn't gay. It's already assumed, right? Among us, at least, if you are an Israelite, you are not gay, because we do not allow somebody who is homosexual or trans, none of those 50,000 genders into our congregations. We're not stopping y'all from doing anything else. Y'all could live y'all lives as long as the Lord allows you, but we don't allow it in here, in our congregations and in our schools and camps. So it's already assumed that if I say something that is a plausible offense, I'm the one that made that phrase up, by the way, a plausible offense. But if I say if I say something that's a plausible offense, you already know I'm not gay. So with that stated, I'm a brother that says pawze and no homo. I everywhere I go, I kind of create an explosion of it. When I used to work at Optimum Cablevision, man, we used to have everybody saying pawze and no homo. And it was, we understood where and when to say it, even though we were in the workplace and we weren't supposed to say it at all. I mean, it was a friend of mine named Tina, friend of mine to this day. One time she said something and it was a plausible offense if she was a dude, but I gave her a look and she was like, "No homo," in front of a sodomite. So that was funny. It was funny. This was literally at the job, but I say that to say, because there is a serious side to it when somebody gets offended. Now, I want to be very specific about, when I say people getting offended, you have people such as Elder Itazuan, who's my brother and I love him very much. It's not that he gets offended. To him, it's just childish. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, absolutely, it is childish. I'm childish. I'm fine with being childish. It's saying pawze and no homo is childish. Let's get that right out the way. It is absolutely 100% something men like me that are immature say and do. But it's just a game. It's not a serious thing. It's not, when I say it, it doesn't mean that I'm telling you or declaring, because main reason why I'm doing this video is because this clown ass suspect himself, by the way, Lord Jamar, which I don't like calling him a lord, but that's what people know him as. Lord Jamar made a whole segment, I think it was with Art of Dialogue, where he was talking about how the fact that people say no homo makes them either suspect themselves or that it makes you think gay shit, which is something I heard from a brother in the truth before. And I'm going to say this about that argument. I don't know how y'all mind works, But let's say somebody's talking to me and they tell me they got a gun, and they say, instead of saying gun, they say I got the stick on me, and I say pause. It doesn't mean that I think the person gay, and I definitely don't picture a rod, but I said pause. It's a game. It's a joke. It's not something to be taken serious. I don't think the person that tells me I got that stick, meaning I got a gun, is gay. So you have to eliminate the assumption that I'm actually thinking about a rod. If somebody said, like, that's something wrong with you. Maybe your mind thinks that way. And I'm going to go as far as to say, if anybody gets offended by pause in no homo, I'm going to tell you, I think that you are suspect. Now, again, that's not talking about people like Elder Atazawam, who simply thinks that it's just immature. He's never been offended by it. Nobody that I know in the truth has ever been offended by it. Brothers just think it's childish. And I'm going to agree with y'all. It's childish. What am I going to say? I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Pause and no homo is not a declaration that a nigga's not gay. It just means, like, okay. So going back to the 90s when pause first started being used, probably about 1995, maybe even before then. Pause is something you said when somebody else said something that was kind of, wow, hold up. Like, it sounds suspect. It doesn't mean that you are suspect. It doesn't mean that I think you're gay. It just means, like, pause meaning stop and think about what you just said, so you can basically laugh at it. It's not pause in a sense of, oh, you're gay. Like, you know what I'm saying? So let's get that out the way. Now, like I said, everywhere I go, I've taught people the pause and no homo game, because that's all it is a game. Everywhere I've went, even where I work at now, they don't really use it, but motherfuckers know around me, you better fucking use it. You know what I'm saying? It's not an offensive thing. Like, it shouldn't even offend gay people. I remember when, because this is why I have to talk about it, because it has become a serious topic in some cases. Roy Hibbert got fined because he was talking about D'ing LeBron, but he wasn't talking about D'ing in a gay way. He was talking about, like, defending against LeBron. But people took that to mean that it was something homophobic slur or some shit, and it wasn't, and it isn't. There's nothing. The phrase itself is not against anybody. It's just simply more or less a game. I'm just gonna say it's a game. It's something we do goofing around. I've seen Elder Zabak. I'm gonna call him an elder because he is an elder in Israel at the end of the day. I've heard Zabak. I was at camp reading for him when he was talking about how the black man is, desired by other women of other nations, and he was like, oh yeah, the black man is good looking, no homo, and it's not that he has to declare that he's not gay. It's just, it's more or less like joking or goofing, or for somebody that really would possibly think that him saying that means that he is somehow like that, just to clarify. But we really don't have to clarify, because it's already assumed. It's really assumed that Israelites are homophobic anyway. It's already an assumption that should be made. If you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we know we're not like that. So, it's kind of one of those it is what it is type situations. Like, you know what I'm saying? Which is funny. That's Cameron's show. I think the name of it is It Is What It Is. But, I just wanted to tell y'all, man, for those of y'all that are taking it too seriously and too far, me personally, I don't say it when we're talking serious. Like, one time recently, I let one go at camp because a brother, actually, Elder Atazwam, said something about rods on y'all heads, but he's talking about like the rod of iron to hit y'all with, not in a, we know that it wasn't, he didn't mean it in any way that was like that. It's just, but for the most part, during a class, like we were saying it before a class recently, but I don't do it during classes unless, like, what I'm saying? I might send a brother a text and be like, whoa, but in the class, while class is going on, no. We don't do that. Or if a brother does it, he does it. Like, it doesn't bother me none. But like I said, if it becomes a point of contention, I'm gonna refer to the scripture. I don't know it offhand, but if meat offend the brother, don't eat meat. Don't say pawze and no homo around brothers that are offended by it. Now, again, if you are offended by it, something might be wrong with you. I really think that. If it actually offends you. Now, like I said, if you think it's childish, that's fine. I don't have a problem with a brother thinking it's childish, because I agree with you. It is childish. It is child. One thing about me, I've grown up. I'm 45 years old, but I'm still very much childish. I don't want to refer to the scripture, lest you be as little children, because that's not talking about if you do goofy shit. But that's all it is, man. Pawze and no homo is really a goofy kind of a game that only heterosexual men play. But it's simply goofing around. It's not nothing serious to it. If I say pause about something you said, it's not meant to be taken that I'm calling you gay. Like, I don't know what y'all interpretation of it is, but me being somebody that's been playing that game basically for probably 20, almost as long as I've been in the truth. Paw's been around since 95, at least. The first known usage of it was on a skit on Jay-Z's first album. So, but again, this is not a serious topic, but because it's becoming talked about now that Cameron is back out with his show, with his podcast, and then you got Lord Jamar being a hoe, him who basically had one of the biggest moments that made me turn my face away from the camera was when he was fighting a crippled man in that show Oz, and you actually see his, whatever, I don't want to even say it, but he's got the audacity to be offended by it, because I think Lord Jamar is suspect. I'm sorry, but again, there's nothing serious about it. I mean, pawze and no homo. I remember when I was working at a cable company, right? And the cable company had a policy. This is before we did work from home. The cable company that I worked at had a thing where if it snows a lot, they'll put us up in a hotel close by and bus us back to the job, right? They'll send a bus for us and take us to the job, or vans. So one of my coworkers, Ray, he's a so-called Simeonite, about my age, maybe a little younger, maybe a little older, I don't know. And then you have a Edomite by the name of Darius, who's Polish, and he's one of those Polish, like, he's not an Americanized, like, he's got the accent. You could easily tell he's Polish. And Ray was like, he's talking about snow, and he was like, I hope to wake up to 10 inches. And Darius, who's totally out of whack with American culture, said pawze. And just to clarify what's going on here, we know that Ray doesn't swing that way. In fact, he met his wife at that same job. We all knew his wife. Like, we know her, not in a carnal sense, but like, we know who she is. There was never nothing suspect about him. Nobody ever speculated he was gay. It was just a moment to laugh at. And the funny part was that it came from a guy that's usually very serious, which is Darius. You know, he was the Polish guy. Very serious, older fella. Could be an Israelite foreigner. Could not be, I don't know. But it was just funny. It was funny who the pawze came from, because he's just not typically, he does not say pawze. But that's what Pawze and No Homo is. It's just a game. It's just something we do goofing around. You know, we laugh at it. It's not us making fun of people that are sodomites or calling you a sodomite. It's simply just goofing around. And there's nothing more to it. You know, don't read too much into it. Like I said, if you get paused, it's not that the person's calling you gay. They're simply just saying pause at what you said. Stop what you're doing, or pause what you're doing and think about what you just said and then laugh. That's it. That's all that really means. You know, it's crazy how something so goofy and childish has to become a serious topic, where you got men like Lord Jamar calling you gay if you pause people. Or saying that, you know, somehow you really picture it. Like you know, like when Elder Atazwan said rods of iron upon y'all heads, and he just didn't, I don't think he mentioned the word of iron, but we knew what he was talking about, but it was just pause. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not to that we think he's thinking that way or anything. It's just, and like I said, he happens to think it's childish, and it's okay if you think it's childish, you know? But when it starts bothering you, now again, let's be clear about it. If we're full-blown in serious mode and we're talking about serious topics, like let's say it's the Passover and niggas just start saying pause and no homo, that's inappropriate. That's inappropriate. When you're supposed to be serious, you know. But if it's a lighthearted moment, or, you know, we're just chilling after the service, a new moon service or something like that, and somebody says something, you know, pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a serious thing. It's not something that you get mad at. You know, it's just something that it's just for laughs. It's not, oh shit, by mistake I did the triangle shit. But anyway, y'all know I ain't, you know what I'm saying, into that Illuminati shit. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, because like I said, although it's not a serious topic, it is a topic that men, for some reason, are starting to take too serious and getting offended. And it's just, this is just me telling y'all, don't get offended by it. It's simply only a joke. It's only a joke. We know anybody that's in this faith is not a sodomite, because we don't allow it. You know, it's not serious. And that's all I want to say. Enjoy y'all day, and hopefully this damn kingdom goes down sooner than later, so we don't even have to say pause and no homo. Shalom.